Now, moving on, we have Nintendo saying to Disney, step aside, there's a new sheriff in town. We have Nintendo's new animated film smashing records in the box office. They say that it crushed the competition with its jaw-dropping $204.6 million domestic and $377 million global debut over the long Easter weekend. $377 million globally on Easter weekend. And I don't even believe that it's open in Japan quite yet. So this has a long runway. I think right now it's easily going to get over 500 million. It even might get up to 600, 700 million. So we'll see if this tapers out, but I think this still has a long ways to go. Now, they say that the results far exceeded the expectations and even surpassed the starts of the recent installments in Universal's biggest franchises, like Jurassic World Dominion, which did 145 million opening domestically, and Fast and Furious 9, which did 70 million. So it's beating out some older franchises. Both Jurassic World and Fast and Furious have had a lot of movies. We're on number 9 for Fast and Furious. But Nintendo so far has done 377 million, and the cost of making it was 100 million. So this is a huge profit generator for Nintendo and Illumination, and they're going to make more of these movies. And that leads to the question of what does this mean for Nintendo's future? What I've seen is a lot of investors make big predictions off of this movie. They're saying that Nintendo has this new massive revenue stream, that they're the new Disney, that they can build out an ecosystem of their gaming system, which Disney has not been successful in getting into gaming. Nintendo has that, and they can make the video games and their movies have a great ecosystem with each other. That is true. This is going to open up a big new revenue stream for Nintendo. But I think what investors are missing in these extrapolations is the difficulty of trying to keep these franchises alive in the box office. For example, we have Star Wars, possibly one of the biggest franchises in the box office ever, maybe next to Marvel. Disney's making another 3 Star Wars films, and the initial reception is great, more Star Wars films. Are they going to be better than the ones recently? Are they going to have a new fresh take? It doesn't look like it because they're even bringing back the older stars, Daisy Ridley, Azrael, and Rey. So a lot of people are looking at this without as much enthusiasm as they had initially. There's many articles about superhero fatigue when it comes to the Marvel universe. Lots of Marvel movies have come out over the past couple of years. This phase of Marvel seems to have far less enthusiasm associated with it than the initial phase, than phase 1, because people have seen so much Marvel. Every Marvel movie has been made, and it seems like they're running thinner on ideas. They're having to rehash a lot of material. After the movie Thor: Love and Thunder received very poor reviews for being over the top with its comedy, not taking anything serious, even Chris Hemsworth, one of their big Marvel actors, said that he's only going to return to the role of Thor if there's, quote, a drastically different take on the character. He wants something different if he's actually going to redo it, because he's basically saying we've done everything in Marvel over and over again, and now it's just purely money grabs. There's nothing original or new about what we're doing here. On Disney Plus, we're seeing a big decline in streaming numbers for the new season of Mandalorian. When this first came out, people could not get enough of Mandalorian. The service, Disney Plus, had 10 million signups for the service on day 1. There's so many people trying to stream it all at once that they literally crashed the service, Disney Plus. But here we are, season 3, a fresh new season, and the headlines are that The Mandalorian sees a huge drop in viewership for the season 3 premiere. They say while Disney does not reveal their specific viewership numbers, Samba TV's, a third-party data analysis, said that The Mandalorian's 3rd season debut was watched by just under 1.5 million households in the US. This compares to 2.08 million who tuned in to the season 2 premiere, or 2.14 million that watched Ewan McGregor's The Return of Obi-Wan Kenobi. What makes this all the more disappointing is that the trailer for season 3 became the most watched trailer for any Star Wars Disney Plus series ever. So people saw the trailer. They were aware that the season was happening, that was starting, and the viewership has dropped off from 2.08 million last year to 1.5 million this year. These are the challenges that Disney currently faces. A catalog of franchise content that's high quality, but that's largely been exhausted over the past couple of years. Every movie that you can think of made about these type of franchises has been made over and over again, to the point where viewers are starting to push back and saying that we're not going to be watching these with the same enthusiasm we had originally. And that is a problem that Disney's currently facing that they're really working to address. They're trying to change the cadence and quality and direction of a lot of films because they feel like the last season of their content for both Marvel and Star Wars was subpar. When viewers are offered an alternative, something new, something original, something that they haven't seen a million times over and over again for the past 5 years, they flock to it. And this time it was Super Mario Bros. Was Super Mario Bros. The best piece of content made over the past 5 years? The movie received high reviews, but it's not the best movie ever made. What made this movie really good is that it was unique. There was a novelty behind it. It was the first one ever made. So viewers were naturally interested in it. But I believe that Nintendo's going to face the very same problem as Disney. They're going to come out with more and more content trying to monetize this new revenue stream. They'll come out with a sequel, a Yoshi-centered one. They'll come out with a Luigi's Mansion one. They'll come out with one centered around Bowser and different side quests. And they will do well, but over time, the same impact will happen from viewers. As they create more and more content centered around the same group of characters and they reuse themes over and over again, viewership becomes less and less drawn to it. And unless they can keep it entirely original and different in every single movie, which has proven to be incredibly difficult, there's going to be diminishing returns going forward. This time it had the novelty effect. It was new, it was different, and that led to wild success, but they lose the novelty effect next time. And after that, it becomes even less novel and even less novel. So overall, I am excited and happy about Nintendo's success. I think it's good to have original content in the box office, but for investors, I would temper your expectations about the future with Nintendo. I think that they'll likely run into the very same challenges that Disney had with using content repeatedly centered around the same IP. It's a very